Hello, my champions, and how are you doing today? I just wanted to check in, see how everybody's doing, where you're at. I know things are crazy right now on the news and what's going on in our society. Gosh, only when I come on this and talk. I just wanted to reach out and say, listen, there's a lot going on right now, and I understand the thought behind what's going on. But I just want to ask everybody to just stop and think for a second. We all wake up the same way. We put our pants on one leg at a time. We are all born from the Creator. We were created. We have got to unite. It seems like we've been fighting this invisible war, and then this happens. And I'm not saying to don't express your thoughts and your feelings, and don't protest. I'm just asking, let's do it the right way. Let's not tear up our own communities. And I know some people will say, well, it's all races tearing up the communities. Listen, at the end of the day, those business owners have to reopen, and that's where we spend our money. In your own community. Unless you go out and drive far away, that's your community. You know, and a lot of the business owners there have not done anything to us. And we're taking it out on the people, I think, some people that are innocent. You know, the police department, the government, the governors, you know, whatever entity is responsible, hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. But please don't tear up our own communities. Don't give the police another reason to do bodily harm towards someone else. You know, we don't follow the curfew that they implement, and then we're out and they arrest us. We're sought as looked at as being aggressive or defiant or disobedient is what I heard on the internet, on CNN. So please do not give them the opportunity to do more harm to the people, our community, our families. Beat them in court. Change legislation. Change policies. You know, that's where change comes from. That's how change happens. Because at the end of the day, you burn up a building, yeah, they have to rebuild that building. That building owner's not making any money, but that building is not correcting what our local authorities did or did not do. Go and address the issue with the issue creator. So it saddens me, and I just want all you guys to know, like, hey, we love everybody. I don't care what your religious belief is. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care, you know, how you look. I just want you to know that we are all human beings, and the humanitarian thing to do is to just love one another, embrace one another. We have pain, I get it. And I saw on CNN that there's a level of responsibility that needs to be attested to or admitted to And the problem is, what the guy said on CNN was, and please, I don't want to misquote anybody, but my understanding of what was said was that we have to be responsible, and in being responsible, you can't just turn a blind eye on situations because it doesn't pertain to you. This pertains to everybody. And believe it or not, our society is so diverse, so integrated. I don't think that you'll find one pure nationality anywhere. When you look at your ancestry, you will see that everybody has an ounce of something in them. So no one person is better than the other. And we just have to find a different way to get the attention of the government, of the politicians, of the House, councilmen, the district attorney, the legal entities. We have to find another way. And I understand, I did read and I did see that, you know, this started with the Boston Tea Party. The American patriots were upset and they took everybody's stuff and threw it off the boat. I get it. I hear it, right? And then there's the oppression issue. I get that also. But when you look at history, even with Rodney King in 1993, I think it was, even with Rodney King, what did we gain by ruining our communities? He got money. And yes, unfortunately, the people that we are fighting for now have lost their lives, so their voices are gone. And we're their voice. But you know, I really feel that there is enough information, enough documentation. Use that as your support and strategically think about your next action, course of action, plan of action. Being destructive is not that. But think about it. Because one of the other things that I saw on CNN was the biopsy report. I'm sorry, the autopsy report. And it looked like they were twisting it to say that he had underlying health issues, and that's why he passed away, not from asphyxiation of the throat. So your plan of action has to be strategically thought. And I know you want to react. We all want to react. But we've reacted for years. And all that's happened is like what we see on TV right now. They're filling up the jails. You know, people are waiting to be arraigned. Some people are being injured. People are looting and stealing merchandise. And why? Think about it. If that was your business that you worked hard for, you and your family, and someone was just like, I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm gonna take a rock or a bicycle and throw it through your store window and steal your stuff. Meanwhile, you're rooting with them, like, this has gotta stop, this has gotta be better. And then you go to your storefront, you're like, holy Toledo, what? I'm part of the statistics of the property that's vandalized. How can this be? Guys, we gotta do better. You gotta get them. You have to just have a plan of action. I say this in leadership, I say this in life. And I just would like to say, let's please stop damaging property. Stop damaging property. Go to the courthouse and stand strong with these families that have lost their loved ones. right? Write letters, sign, provide signatures to create and force a change. Because tearing up property doesn't create the change. What's on paper creates the change. One of the things that I tell people all the time, sorry, I see something on my phone, is, you know, inequality, inequity stems from the Constitution. And I'm not speaking today to know it all. I'm just giving references. You know, when you change the way documents are written or read, then people don't have a choice but to change their thought, because now you can't reference this item on one of our documents that are from years, right? You change it. Change the way people look at situations. Take away that crippling option that says lives don't matter. Take that small piece, and I don't want to go into details. That's why I'm jumping around the topic, but you got to start somewhere. And if it's in writing, it changes. If you go and fight and keep going to the Supreme Court, going to you know, and Lauder in DC, and present changes wherever it's supposed to be done. So I do apologize if I'm not diverse in that, but wherever that change needs to originate from, and to get signatures, and to say hate crime needs to stop. Police officers need to be vetted differently. You know, kids need to be taught differently in school to be more of reasoning and less combative. Being combative should be like the last option. But you teach kids, prime example, your kids go to school and they're in preschool and kindergarten, and the first thing that they're taught is to use your voice. Use your voice and tell me what you want. That's what we teach our kids. Use your voice and tell me what you want. And I understand, because people have been telling me, well, you know what, Miss Please, we've been using our voice and no one's listening, so now it's time to try Plan B. Plan B we've used before. It's time for us to strategically look and see, part of Plan A worked, part of Plan B worked. What's Plan C? Let's combine them start over to get a different return. If this doesn't happen, we don't quit as humanitarians. You don't stop fighting because it's changed or it's went away. It's stopped. What I feel is one of our downfalls is, yes, someone's life is lost, right? And we fight, scream, and kick to make change. There's a court hearing or there's a verdict and it stops. What needs to happen is someone needs to keep carrying that torch to every level of our legal system until it gets heard, changed, altered, updated, or deleted from the system, and find something that benefits the greater good of everybody. So I'm just so sad by what's going on. I truly am. And I didn't have a lot of words because this is terrible. This is terrible. Lives lost. Terribly, terribly, terribly wrong. This is the most that we've seen anywhere, with cops being arrested and charged. And you know what those charges mean, how well they'll stick, what they stand for. You got to do the research. But whatever your decision is, just please, please, please use your voice. That's what you have it for. Freedom of speech, they gave us. Yes, we have our country has the right to protest. But as you see, protesting is turning violent. Whether you start out protesting, we're human. We have anger, we have tempers rise, feelings are hurt, people think they're not heard, or they aren't heard, they feel that they're not heard. Or what's even the bigger thing that I see is there's a lot of misunderstanding. You say potatoes, I heard oranges. There's a lot of that going on. And the sad thing is we've been locked inside for so many months because of the pandemic that this is just, it's growing into a beast. And we all want to see equality. We all want to see something positive come out of this. And it's okay to have your feelings. It's okay to be mad, angry, sad, scared, hurt. Those are emotions that belong to you and no one can take them from you. And if they try to, they're wrong. But there are limits to that. And one of those things are, do not destroy other people's property or you will be held accountable and liable. Your voices, like we teach our children, your voices is what carries, right? You figure if you sing a song, write a song, it's played forever, right? So if you sing a song of let there be peace, let there be equality, let there be a solution for the greater good of society and not just for the greater good of those who abuse a system or a status or a job title or any form of affiliation. Just, guys, let's do the right thing. That's all I can say. Let's do the right thing. That is what matters most. Do the right thing. There are some good people out there. There's some good people that are taking a stance to get this corrected. Stand in their corner and support. You can be loud, not destructive, but you can be loud. Make your point. Put it on paper, pen and paper. Gosh, pen and paper. You think about it. Pen and paper means so much. You go to court, what do they ask you? Pen and paper. We have a ticket here for you. This is not a ticket, it's a receipt, but we have a ticket that says you were speeding, you were obstructing justice. We have pen and paper. It's recorded. It's a document. Think about it. If people have documentation against you, whether it's work, authorities, whoever the case may be, marriage, friendship, business partnerships, it's on paper. It's documented. Put your voice on paper. Make the change. Because if it's not on paper, it didn't happen. All this stuff that's on TV, yes, it's happening. But it's not on paper. Put that stuff on paper. That's how you make people accountable. If it's on paper, it happened. It was said, it's true, it's real. You're accountable. You don't get to disrupt our country, our community, our lives, our well-being, our sanity, our internal mechanisms, our external mechanisms. You do not get permission to disrupt that. Put it on paper. Make someone accountable. This is in leadership. This is in our society. This is our country. This is in your home. This is in the schools. Put it in paper. Put it on paper. Because that's where someone can reference it and say, oh yeah, nope, can't do that. Nope, if you do that, then this happens. Like they said on CNN last night, it's a manslaughter in 3rd degree. Usually that's overlooked or put to a lesser sentence or probation. And if that doesn't work, then what needs to happen is people need to write letters to the judge. People need to write letters to whoever they can who plays a major role in determining the decision of what's going on today. The parents, the family of the lives lost, they're going to say, we don't want that. We want more.